You finna go. If there's a place you gotta get, I can get you there, I bet. I'm the map. I'm the map, I'm the map. If there's a place you gotta get, I can suck your dick, I bet. I'm the map. I'm the map, I'll suck your dick. Not like the government grant, I'm the map. Not like on government hill. I'm the map, Renee. Stop fucking saying I'm the map. Well, you know it's about the map. I'm the map.
Welcome to the Fuck You Show. This is Dr. Pearl's Houston Book here, co-host with Mr. Chuck Stu. And today is the 15th episode, the finale. Folks, this is it. This is the season 1 finale. So we got a nice jam-packed episode for you. You guys heard a little snippet of the new Big Daddy Puff Puff joint track, Renee and Her Family, coming soon to stores near you. We're going to have that album coming out soon, and that's on NXP Productions. Chuck, I see Chuck's just sitting down here. How are things going in your world today nowadays?
Pretty shitty. Don't like my job. I want to quit, but I can't because I need to make money. Not making enough from this show. We're an AM station style. AM station. Do have 33 fans, but I do believe we need at least 5,000 in order to collect checks. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we will get there. Not saying it's not going to happen, but just had the finals today for the job. For the new job I'm working at, it went pretty well. I cheated. And we're about to go to a party tomorrow night. It's going to be awesome with this new girl. Hell of a lot's going on in the news, so we got a lot to talk about for the season finale of the Chuck Stu Show with Dr. Pearl's book. But other than that, right now, I'm feeling pretty good.
And we have a new surprise for Chuck here today. This is actually this show is being filmed in front of a live studio audience. So all you guys out there, we thank you for coming and supporting us. Even though you didn't buy a ticket, you didn't have to pay for anything. You're out there and we love you, so thank you. This is a continuation from last week's episode. We're talking about France. You know, it's still in the news. Shit's still going on. I heard something about how one of the ISIS leaders was killed. They took him out. French soldiers took him out, and it only took a week. How come America isn't that quick? How come it took us 10 years to take care of Saddam, 20 years to take care of Osama? What's going on with that?
Well, what I personally think, and this is coming from the mouth of Chuck Stu, for the Chuck Stuians, I believe that Obama and Akbu, or whatever the hell his name is, that runs ISIS, are in bed together. It's kind of like corporations and terrorist organizations and the government, politicians. It's all like a big scam. There's a lot of people doing a lot of shady shit in the government. As I'm now reading these different posts on Facebook, I'm reading these different blogs, whatever you want to call it, that's nothing connected to mainstream media outlets like CNN or anything like that, where they're saying, like, I read some posts where, because last week that thing happened in France, and so I actually read a post where the Prime Minister, whatever the hell his name is, told the French military to stand down that hour when all those bombs were going off. So it's kind of like, what the fuck? But then we were also looking up some information the other day about Mr. John McCain, thinking that he's bedfellows with ISIS. But actually, Dr. Book here looked up the information and found out that it's just a bunch of liberal propaganda trying to get everybody like upset because saying crisis actors, that's already been proven that it's fake. John McCain was saying that he's bedfellows with ISIS. Also found out that, well, actually Dr. Book found out by reading and watching the video when he was on CNN or MSNBC or wherever he, or Fox News or whatever he was on. He actually didn't say that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hearsay around town here. Basically, I believe that Senator McCain, was referring to the Syrians as the people that he was in contact with, because I don't understand how the ISIS would want to be in contact with America anyway. I mean, unless the rumors are true that America's funding ISIS, I wouldn't say that that's what I believe. I mean, is it plausible? Hell yeah, everything's plausible. But then again, well, I mean, how suspicious do you gotta get? That's what I gotta say. So that's really what's been going on, honestly. With France and everything. And is there anything else that you want to cover here, Chuck? Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, I think it is a travesty what happened in France. I mean, I do agree with what we said last week. Just because bombs blow up somewhere doesn't mean everybody of any nationality. Like today, we're all French, or if like that thing that happened back in the '90s. With the British, like on this day we are all Brits, type of thing. It's it's a little bit of an oxymoron. I'm going to go ahead and play the devil's advocate here. I think what happened is a travesty, but you can't trust anything, so it's kind of like, what is your real, it's like, well, what is anyone's real opinion on this story? I mean, because even the Prime Minister and other people in France were saying that what happened last Saturday or Friday night, what happened there last week is France's 9/11. And so, I mean, they already said on the different networks, they said that they got the guy. Oh, and also on that night, ISIS was declared war against by Anonymous, the hacktivation group. So, you can't see it in here, but in the studio, I don't know if Dr. Prosey's book ever pointed this out, but there is an anonymous mask hanging on the wall in the studio. And so, who I'm supporting here, Chuck Stu show. But really, it's I would consider it a huge travesty. It's just nothing to celebrate or be happy about. I mean, that guy went and played piano, and that was nice. But also, did you hear Dr. Prosey's book that this morning, there was a raid in, what was it? It was somewhere where a bunch of ISIS members went and captured, I think it was a hotel or something. They had a bunch of hostages. Did you read anything about this?
I didn't read anything about that. I'm highly uneducated.
Okay. Well, from what they were saying as I was getting off work, because the only thing you're really allowed to or read at work at the call center I'm at now, don't come down on Chuck Stu because Chuck Stu's got to work at a call center again. I know I said I was never going to go back to one, but hell, finances say I have to. So, and the fact that nobody else is hiring in Tucson, so there's nothing I can do about that. But really, I mean, the hostages, I believe, were set free. 2 of the captors were killed, and then other captors were killed also, who were the hostages, which is unfortunate. But ISIS, they're going to be a hot topic for the Chuck Stu show as long as they're going to keep doing bullshit and start a cause, going around with their fucking, money and their guns and the fucking gold that they think they have and like all this shit. We're going to be talking about them and talking shit about them. So I'm sorry if you support Akbu and the rest of them and Al-Qaeda and all that shit. Because even though there was a post that came out yesterday saying, oh, well, Obama killed more than Boko Haram and ISIS combined. Obama killed more Muslims than them. Doesn't mean they're not killing Muslims. It doesn't mean Muslims who don't want to give anyone shit or innocent people. They're still bad people. So that's my fucking take on this thing with France and ISIS.
And honestly, if you support Allahu Akbar or whatever, that bullshit, and you're listening to Chuck Stu, you can go just suck a fucking thumb. That's all I gotta say about that. And we will be right back with the Chuck Stu show.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Chuck Stu's After Hours. Dr. Prosey's book just walked outside, stepped out a minute. He did just send me a text saying about the mass shooting that just happened. He said, oh, I don't know what's going on, because I said, you know what, with Dr. Stu, Dr. Book, what the fuck's going on with our country? And he's out taking a smoke break. Said, oh, I don't know, people will probably see all the other shootings and want to emulate them. So I'm not going to deny that. There's a lot of crazy people who live in our country, and, there's mental cases in all different kinds of countries. I just don't know how many of them are violent. So, of anyone who acts violence or whatever, because a lot of people that are even in mental asylums, I saw some survey one time that said only half of them needed to actually be in there and be waited on by nurses. And the other half, even though they had mental disorders like Chuck Stu here, they're still functioning members of society. So,
Who knows? That's up for opinion. If you want to become a sociologist and try to set all the captives free, have all the people live in your house, and have all the Syrian refugees live on Stephen Colbert's lawn, you go and do that. You got 2 thumbs up for me. But Chuck Stu, so a lot of things are going on. Even read a news post, like I was saying earlier, that Paris has already become they're slowly becoming a fascist society, and I don't know what's going on with that. If you want to throw that in the comments and give me some information on that, because I read some really quick news post on that. Someone was saying on one of these vlog websites, some journalist was saying, go ahead and take down the pictures of the France colors or whatever, you put the tint on your pictures on Facebook, take it down because the whole thing was staged, like the whole Charlie Hebdo thing. I don't know if actually those two correlate, but it's like, what exactly is going on with our country? I mean, this is the last episode of this first season of the Chuck Stu Show, and I got to be saying, honest things about myself here in our country. What the fuck is going on? So, just a little confused here, but yeah, don't support ISIS. Don't support the government. Fuck the government. Don't believe Obama. Anybody, Donald Trump, he's saying, Latinos love Trump. No, anybody you're voting for, even Ben Carson. I'm getting to the point where it's like, man, I can't trust a soul here in the government. They don't want any rights for me. That it's becoming a police state society here. I'm not dealing with that. I don't want to be a part of that. But Chuck Stu, you got to make your own opinions. And there was a news post that did come out that Ben Carson has a picture of Jesus with Jesus' hand on him, and Jesus is black in the picture. I mean, the man was dark-skinned Middle Eastern, so that's pretty close. I'm still going to vote for him. So I'm just saying here that it's time to talk about weapons and how you're defending yourself.
Stewians. This is the Chuck Stu Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the finale for the last episode of Season 1 of the Chuck Stu Show. We've been going on about 5 to 6 months already. Ladies and gentlemen, just been informed that there has been a shooting that went on at 11 a.m. earlier today in San Bernardino, where up to 14 are presumed dead, 14 currently injured and going to several different hospitals around the San Bernardino area. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to weapon up. Any types of knives, guns, whatever you can get legally, the police state is coming. And for all the Chuck Stu fans of the Chuck Stuians, and all Dr. Books fans, our Dr. Booklets fans, we call them the Booklets, it's becoming a scary time to live in America. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that out there because there's not much information, so I'm going to jump to a different topic for the after hours of Chuck Stu. There's not much that's been said so far, so we're just going to go to a different topic. Okay, so we are live, and this is going out to our studio audience. Dr. Book has left the building. As of now, he's going on a smoke break. He's going to be back in for the last, I believe, 5 to 10 minutes of the show. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to go ahead and read this post about everybody is looking like it's becoming a second war in the Middle East that's all about oil again, because how the war in Syria is all about oil, not ISIS. I'm getting this off the anonymous page. You're listening to Chuck Stu right now, and I'm going to read this and give a little quick bio, my opinions on this when it comes to ISIS and when it comes to what's really going on in Syria and who's pulling what strings to do what. We're just going to look at it from all the different sides. Your conservative anarchist, Chuck Stu, and your conservative, pseudo-libertarian, pseudo-republican, Dr. Book. We're getting this on now. So, where there's something being talked about in the news or the regular basis, and if one angle of the story is being consistently reported by various reputable news organizations, you can be sure there's something else to the story that isn't being told. Matt Tibby called this chump bait when referring to the media's unified dismissal concerning Bradley Manning's court material. The same applies to the latest corporate media story speculating the U.S. military involvement in Syria. So basically what's going on that we're not being told in the mass media, like always, is that it's another war in oil, because Syria has apparently a lot of it. And we're picking up on this now. Chuck Stu has a bunch of different news websites that he reads. I don't just read CNN. I don't just read Fox News, even though Fox News is not a credible news source. I do read a bunch of different ones. Like I do read about Anonymous. I do read about the anti-media. I read some other things on Facebook and go to different blogs for news sites of journalism. I try to get all the sides of the story. And when you're just focusing on the mass media, the big media news networks like MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, even going to the liberal stations like The Daily Show or John Oliver's show on YouTube or wherever it is he's being filmed at, or even Stephen Colbert's show, his talk show, you're going to get it from just a certain perspective because of what they believe. We're trying to give it to you, bam, bam, like a Rubik's Cube, all sides. Chuck Stu, here we go. Okay. So, I'm just going to read a paragraph here, and then I'm going to read an opinion, and I'm going to comment on it, because this segment's going to be about 10 minutes. And then we're going to bring Dr. Probst's used to book back in here for you booklets. Okay. So, the Kirkuk-Bayans pipeline runs from Kirkuk in northern Iraq to the Syrian town of Bayanus on the Mediterranean Sea between Turkey and Lebanon. Ever since U.S. forces inadvertently destroyed it in 2003, most of the pipeline has been shut down. While there have been plans in the works to make the Iraqi proportion of the pipeline functional again, those plans have yet to come to fruition. And Syria has had at least 2.5 billion barrels of oil in its fields, making it the next largest Middle Eastern oil producer after Iraq. After 10 unproductive years of oil companies dependent on Kirkuk-Baynis pipelines, outputs are eager to get the pipeline operational. This pipeline operational again. The tension over the Syrian oil situation is currently being fled by wealthy investors in the markets who are thus dictating U.S. foreign policy. There you go. And if you didn't think that fascism was coming back to France since Mussolini, you're going to have to think again. You have to look outside of the barriers. And also even the mass shooting that just happened 5 hours ago. It's a mass shooting that's been going on, but there's been several mass shootings for the last 5 years. Sandy Hook, the dude who shot the B-Tech. Like, there's been several different mass shootings going all around the United States. Why? Why now? Not any other time in history other than when David Koresh burned everybody, including himself, up in fucking Texas, and the dude blew up the building in Oklahoma in 96. But we're talking about this mass shootings left and right. The dude said he was a Joker, shot up that fucking place, the movie theater during the Batman film. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. There's a possibility that Chuck Stu's telling you there's a state society that's going to become a police society. It's all revolving around trying to piss off everybody, scare everybody. They're trying to tell us you need the military, you need this, you need that. And then it's all going to be coming into this big plan of thing where it's going to become one world currency, one world state. State society, Christians it's going to be illegal to be Christian or Jewish. You know, we're just getting to that point in our society. And Chuck Stu is telling you, look, I'm just a little bit afraid of these types of things. I know Dr. Probst's book, he doesn't believe in it. A lot of people don't. They think it's hogwash. But let's go ahead and read on one of these opinions here. I'm not going to release the person's name, but it was written today. So we're going to look at this from a different perspective here. So I'm not going to name this guy's name. He's just anonymous. So not anonymous, but anonymous. The only war that exists is against the people. Mind manipulation to manipulate our ability to see beyond things and patterns in case scenarios. Then use of force to create fear, then psychological advantage, technological advancement, and research advancement and wealth over available resources advantages. All at the same time. Someone is reading our lives like those vedettes or witches or metaphysicians. They use this too, and probably advancing that too. So why the symbols and tarot cards, chess, normal playing cards, astrology, entities of religions? How do they link to each other and those behind it all? Who writes and reads the books in the Vatican Library? It doesn't make sense that the Pope has special access to all books of 50 to 70 kilometers of library. Does he walk or run that much? He must be a fucking athlete. What about the librarians? Can they have the same access to every corner of the library? Beware, a librarian can be controlling the world and controlling our way to live through beliefs and technology. Foreigners around our beliefs is the way to control how we live. This can be a project to control other species on other planets. So why dream about gods? Why is the etymology of God
because no one saw God before, not even in drugs. So why speak about God while believing God form and abilities of forcing everyone to believe? So what is hidden is God, is it? What the eye sees, the heart doesn't believe. The mind sees what the eye don't believe. Isn't that a riddle? LOL. Sir, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but let's debunk it anyways, because I got 2 minutes left on the Chuck Stu show, and this is the last episode until we get to season 2. I'm telling you now, the Illuminati is here. I already discussed on in episode 3. They're here. I'm not sure that all of them and the media are about the Illuminati or just puppets themselves, or they just say they are because they think it's cool, but they're not really in it. There's some shit going down here. And I'm not saying Chuck Stu's a militant, but all I'm saying is it says you can bear arms in the United States Constitution. And I'm not saying a lot of those people just didn't own land and slaves, because they did. And a lot of them were a part of the Hellfire Club, the Freemasonry. Not saying that either. You got to do your own research on that. I am saying that. Chuck Stu's saying you better get a weapon. I got a knife here. I'm not saying be a doomsday apocalypse bunker maniac, but certain shit's going down, and it wouldn't hurt if you were able to defend yourself or get saved, accept God as your Lord and Savior, and that's just the way that, honey, that's how this is going to go. This is how this is going to go. I'm not trying to scare the audience here, because there's a lot of people out there like the vigilance on their channels saying all these things are going to happen. But what's going on? Crisis actors. Nate Talks to You said there's no such thing as crisis actors because there was 3 different women in that video. It's not the same woman. They just happen to look like. But I'm just saying, the Chuck Stu saying, I'm just saying for my channel, you need to be able to defend yourself. Don't believe everything you hear in the news. Hell, don't even believe me if you're a Chuck Stuian, a librarian, or whatever the fuck you do for a job.
This is Dr. Pearl's Houston book here, and I got a story to tell y'all. One day, me and Chuck were walking in the supermarket looking at some sponges, because we got to do dishes too. We're humans too. Despite our great wealth and fame, we still got to do our damn dishes, alright? So we go into the supermarket, and we walk in this particular supermarket, there's a man working here. There's this man, I've known this man for several years. He is the father of this bitch I fucked. That's right. That's right. She tasted that mushroom tip. She got the tip. And what I did, seriously, I just saw him out of the corner of my eye. This is how the conversation went. I was like, we were walking up to the sponges, and I was like, yo, Chuck, what kind of sponge do you want? Hey, I put that guy's daughter right there. So anyway, what kind of sponge you looking for? So I wanted to make a shout out to that man. Whew, I want to make a shout out to that man. Hallelujah, that man who created a daughter with an A1 pussy. Thank you. Have a great night.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Chuck Stu Show. Welcome back from commercial break. Thank you, Dr. Book, for the PSA. And yeah, A1 fire pussy, we love it. I love it, sort of. Asexual. He's a demisexual. My brother is I'm the gray sexual. He's a demisexual. Dr. Book's a metrosexual. We are the A-team. So, little public service announcement from here, right here. So once again, this is the man, the myth. You can call him a legend. You can call him anything you want. You can even call him A1 Steak Sauce. Chuck Stu coming back from commercial break. And right here, as always, we have the man who is the head of the Doctors Association for America and also for Cambridge. They're trying to get him back, but I won't let him apply, even though they're saying we are the people that need him here to do the surgeries and teach the class. And I said, yo, fuck your university. He's on the Chuck Stu Show. Dr. Pearl's Houston book. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing a segment to end off as a season finale called Dr. Books versus the World. And Dr. Books, what exactly is going to be happening right now?
Well, we like to have some fun here at the Chuck Stu Show, so this is going to be a rapid-fire question and response section, and this is going to pretty much probably be the end of the season here, because we like to have some fun. We want you fans to be rewarded with some hilarity, some of the laughs that we enjoy on a daily basis here on the Chuck Stu Show and all surrounding networks. So, Chuck, whenever you're ready.
So this is, and cue music, Dr. Books versus the world. I'm going to do rapid fire section on 20 different things that have been happening in the news the last couple of weeks. And what he's going to do is he's going to react to them honestly, and it's going to go public. And if you can't handle it, then go ahead and listen to Fresh Air or This American Life or whatever dumb shit you like.
Yeah!
So, here we go. Dr. Book, number one, what is your opinion? Number one, ISIS bombings in Paris.
It's a true tragedy, and I pray for all the people in France.
Number two, head-on semi-collision on I-10.
It just goes to show how many fucks there are in this town.
Number three, Ben Carson's violent past.
I don't care if that motherfucking man killed his mother, I still vote for him president.
Number four, Linda Ellerby.
Oh God, Linda Ellerby, she was my Sunday night's worst nightmare.
Number five, In-N-Out suing Dine Dash.
In-N-Out needs to get their money, and that's what they gotta do.
Number six, Charlie Sheen coming out with the AIDS virus.
Well, you know, it was meant to be expected, but here's the thing, he's all that tiger blood.
Number seven, Seth Rollins' knee injury.
All I can say is hallelujah.
Number eight, Ronda Rousey jaw injury.
She a little bitch. Holly Holm is the new Ronda Rousey. Wait for the movie deals coming in.
Number 10, Jeb Bush.
I'm voting for Jeb Bush, bro.
Number 11, Renee.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response.
Number 12, Anonymous versus ISIS and Cyber War.
I hope that Anonymous cuts off their Twitter accounts and prevents them from tweeting any of their bullshit donkey shit.
Number 13, police brutality.
I think that it's something that needs to be contained, but the cops need to start beating on the right people, and that's the white people.
Number 14, gender equality.
Gender equality should occur, but only in sanctioned events.
Number 15, robot astronauts.
I think that humans should always be astronauts. When you put robots in space, it starts fucking up the ozone layer.
Number 16, converting air into energy.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. Let's just keep it with electricity and oil and shit. That's what I know.
Number 17, Stockholm Syndrome.
Well, you know, fuck your shit.
Number 18, crisis actors. Number 19, Bernie Sanders accused of being in the 1%.
Of course he's the 1%. He's a fucking politician. He's just pretending not to be so he can win the presidency.
And last one, number 20, Dirty Dice playing in Las Vegas.
They are the band coming out now. It is time for you to know Dirty Dice. Get their record coming out soon. Ross Gillis on drums. He's the only one you care about. Dirty Dice coming soon.
And Al Fowl can suck a thumb and hope he gets mauled by an owl. And that was it. That is Dr. Pearl's book, 20 Things of Him versus the World. So there's 20 different facts that's been going on in the news lately, kind of like the Friday News Roundup, that what they do on one weekend show on MTV. I don't know. But, so that is his opinion. Oh, yeah. Okay, last one, number 21. How do you feel about Dragon Ball Z coming back on the air?
I love it. I'm so happy. I love anime.
So there you have it, folks. Once again, this is me, that is him, and this is Chuck Stu Show. We are the radio station that is going to give it to you fast, hard, hopefully sterilized, and deep. Dick, deep dish, action, hashtag long dick style. That is because what we're doing is what we've been doing since June. This is the season finale. Season number 1 is about to be finished. And this is what we are going to do. We are going to keep prodding and probing until all of America has us in their ears and in their brains. And you need to understand that even though KXCI didn't pick us up, the AM radio stations wouldn't pick us up, Jeb Bush wouldn't be on our program, and that other fucking radio station on, what was it, fucking Podcast One wouldn't pick us up. But here's something to you folks. You folks are what's keeping us. Well, no, I'm keeping this running. Dr. Book's keeping this running. Anyone who wants to advertise, and everyone's going to be saying, well, I guess Chuck was right about the thing about DraftKings, because the fucking government's coming down on them. When I was talking shit about them 3 months ago, saying they're all bullshit, some motherfucker living up in the Alps when everyone thinks they're winning, everyone's losing, but, they're not a gambling company, they're an entertainment company, government's coming down on them. I already said on my show that they're fucks.
Wrap it up, Chuck.
So this is the Chuck Stu Show. Thank you for listening, for the 33 fans. And for the future fans, we hope you listen for season 2, which is going to be even more crazy, even more drunk, even more offensive. And, you know, I mean, if you get offended easy, maybe you should just try listening to Fox News instead.
All right, that was Chuck, and this is Dr. Pearl signing off for this season. Thank you, everyone, for nothing, I guess. So have a good life and fuck yourself. Goodbye.